Hey guys, welcome to Heart Through Humility. I'm Audra and I'm here with my husband Stefan.
Hey.
So today's podcast is going to be forgiveness in a marriage. Now, sin in a marriage is never okay. It doesn't mean you dismiss your spouse for their sin. It simply means they owe you nothing. God loved us so much that He forgave us for our sins, so why shouldn't we do the same? And sin is very
controversial.
Yes, with God. Everybody will be judged for their sin.
Maybe not controversial.
And only God can judge them. Yeah. So let's get into it.
I want to start off by saying this is the second time doing this episode because I messed up on the audio. I got a lot riding on my shoulders. So anyways, forgiveness. That is...
I forgive you for that.
Well, thank you.
Thank
you. Forgiveness is something we've dealt with, I'd say, within this last year.
Yes.
Actually forgiving one another.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into that here after a little bit. But yeah, I would imagine everybody deals with it. They may not deal with it the same way, obviously. I think you and I being on this journey, going through Re-Engage and some other marriage classes and seminars had really opened our eyes and made us realize that maybe we were doing it wrong, or maybe
we
not
simply weren't doing it,
or not intentional about it.
Yeah.
You know, there's been times where I know I've said, I forgive you, but did I truly mean it?
Yeah.
Probably not. So yeah, that's what we'll get into today. Forgiveness. It's a fairly hot topic. Do we mean it?
I mean it now, of course.
You didn't tell me that earlier.
Is that the question?
You're mad because we got to redo this episode.
I just forgave him.
Just kidding. So we will be getting into the Re-Engage book. That was one of the lessons that we had gotten into. And again, it has opened our eyes, opened my eyes. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't believe I was doing it correctly. I wasn't intentional about it. So one thing I want to read out of this book was forgiveness is not condoning, dismissing, or excusing, or enabling sin. Mm-hmm. Forgiveness simply means that person doesn't owe you anything for the harm you suffered.
I just said that.
Yeah. So, kind of getting into the nitty gritty, this past, was it November 2025, I came forward and confessed everything to my wife. It was a difficult task. I spoke with my pastor at my church, kind of told him what was going on, told him I was tired of living in the dark. I want to live right, mm-hmm. by God and by my wife, as well as my family. And he had mentioned, did you tell your wife anything? I was like, not what I'm telling you. So that was the first thing he said. You've got to confess everything to your wife and let her know what's going on. And that was a shocker. That was a reality check. But I knew it was for the good. So, Pastor Matt, thank you for that. That was very encouraging.
Yes.
To say the least. But, I confessed maybe a week after that talk. And it was not easy. I was hiding a lot of things. And
I was so curious. Because even our oldest, she's like, what did Dad go see the pastor for? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was just out of the blue.
And I was just like, well, if he wants me to know, he'll tell me. I wanted to bug him, but I couldn't. Because I knew if it was for me to hear, he would tell me.
Right.
He made me wait a week, but it's okay.
Well, I was waiting for the right moment. I didn't want...
Your timing was so perfect.
It really wasn't. Like I said, I was waiting for the right moment. I was waiting for the girls at least not to be around or even in the house. I was hoping they weren't in the house. So they were at Audra's parents' house one day, and decided this was probably not the best time to do it, but the girls aren't here, so I figured I'd do it then. And it was a shocker to say the least for you, huh?
Yeah, when you walked in and I already knew something was bothering you, and you're like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?" I was just like, "Yeah, sure." I just had that feeling. We know, women know, like we have that gut feeling. We're like, "Okay, what happened? What's wrong?"
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Mind you, I only had 5 minutes. I had to go pick up the kids, so his timing's perfect all the time.
No, it wasn't perfect at all, but like I said, I didn't want the girls around. I didn't want to bring them into it, and I knew it was time to get those things off my chest and kind of fill you in on what I'd been struggling with or what I've been dealing with or hiding. Again, it was a tough situation for me, but it was well needed, much needed.
Yeah. I didn't know how to take it at first, but I can't say I forgave you right then and there because that was just new news.
Right.
So I did have to take some time. It did break me a little bit, but I don't know. I think, like you said, these classes, they kind of taught us a lot, showed us how to handle situations that come our way, and I can't remember what lesson we were on at that time, but I just didn't react how I normally would. I mean, I'm sure you were scared.
Oh, for sure.
How I was gonna act.
Yeah, I mean, with you saying that, I thought about you, our marriage, quite possibly you leaving me and losing the girls and all that. So yeah, I was definitely worried. It was not something I was wanting to do, but again, Pastor had told me that's something I need to do, and I prayed about it, and I actually asked God to give me the strength to confront everything to you. And it was tough. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, it took, like I said, it took me a few weeks to actually, because I had so many questions, and I know you guys, I probably got on his nerves because it was like this poor man every day. I would text him. He's at work. I'm like, "Hey, I have a question. Hey, I need to know this. Hey, I want to know this." And I'm sure I probably got on his nerves. And I mean, he's told me sometimes it led us into an argument of me holding it over his head, which I really was never holding it over his head. I just had questions. But after a while, after he answered my questions, I was like, okay. And then we came to this lesson, forgiveness, and re-engaged. And I remember doing the homework, and we're in our room, just us to do our homework. And I think that's when he had already confessed to me, and I found out things that I did that bothered him at the time. And we pretty much forgave each other, but I had already forgiven him like a couple days before this lesson about, stuff he's told me about. It was not easy, but you just you can't, I guess, beat your spouse down for any flaws or, anything they have in the dark, because it's not healthy, one, for your marriage. And then you got to think about, like I said earlier in the beginning, like God died for my sins. Right. So I can't beat down you, which is who he entrusted you to me. So I can't do that. That's just me, though.
I think that's easier said than done. As humans, I believe that it's not in our nature. At least me, I can't speak for everybody, but in the past, and I would imagine there are days now that you may judge somebody by what they do, what they wear, what they look like, or whatever, and when it comes to you forgiving me, yeah, I mean, you're right. You're not supposed to hold that over my head. And it's not that you were doing that. It's the fact that I told you And in my mind, I was thinking, well, she knows everything. We should be good. And obviously, that's not how it works. You had questions, and you were entitled to those questions. I just felt that when you were bringing it up, it was just constant. And it was not like I was trying to put in the past. I didn't want to bring it up anymore on it, and I wasn't proud about it. I wasn't happy. And I felt like it was being held over my head. She'd ask me one question one day, maybe 2 days passed, and another question would come up, and it's just, and like I said, you were entitled to that. I had explaining to do.
My curiosity is like OCD to me, so
yeah.
That's how it's always been.
Right.
But I mean, like I said, you can't beat your spouse down. If I was not right with God how I am now today, you guys, I would have went crazy on this man.
You probably would have left.
Oh, yeah. I probably would have. But these classes, and if you're willing and you have your spouse who's also willing to fight for your marriage, it's like we have kind of like the same mind, but I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird to explain.
On the same page.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. But it's like I was kind of putting myself in his shoes. Like, how would he react? And I'm sure he wanted me to just like, don't take the wrong path. Like the right path meaning work it out, continue to grow in our marriage and our faith. But I'm sure that's what you wanted and that's what you got. But I'm sure in your mind, you're like, dang, she's going to do this. Or, you got to keep that in mind. Like, you can't beat your spouse down. You got to put yourself in their shoes. Like, how would your spouse react if the tables were turned? Like, if it was you confessing stuff, And like I said, like you and I, when we first decided to get back together, I thought we had everything out on the table that night.
Yeah.
Apparently we didn't, y'all.
Right.
But I'm okay with that because we got to put everything on the table again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now we're in a great place, but we're still learning. There's still stuff that I learn about you every day.
Right. Well, like you
crazy.
Like you said, when we got back together, I don't know, maybe we just got back together just to get back together. I got
back together because I wanted to be with you.
Not for you, but maybe me personally, because I lost a lot when we separated. And I was ready for you to come back home, you and the girls, and maybe at that time I was just portraying to be fixed or healthy. And I said anything to get you back. I don't know. I can't answer that now. But what I'm getting at is obviously I didn't have everything out on the table.
Mm-hmm.
We got back together and I believe it's 22.
Yeah.
And then I confessed everything in November of 2025. So that's 3 years later after we got together.
You lied to me that long. Oh my gosh.
I didn't lie to you. I just didn't tell you.
This man.
Anyways, this isn't what this is about. Anyways.
I just know that I'm just processing that's how long. Well, I'm just kidding. I'm not holding that against you. Just give me more time.
So going off of that, every situation is different. Every sin is different.
Mm-hmm.
In the regards of if it's a physical abuse, that's completely different than what you and I went through, our situation. If it's physical abuse, obviously we're not asking you or telling you to stick around. If it's something serious, something needs to get done, whether it's professional help, counseling, or even the authorities. That's not something we condone. Again, you and God have to make that decision and go from there. So again, physical abuse, that's not what we're referring to at this conversation. Same thing for infidelity. If you've got a cheating spouse, that's something you need to pray to God about and figure out what you need to do. That's not something we can answer. It's not something we've gone through. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, if it's something you feel like you can forgive your spouse about, then look into it. Like I said, counseling or marriage counseling, your local church, pastors. I mean, there's people you can talk to get either information or some type of guidance. And that's kind of my situation. That's what I did. And it has helped. It wasn't easy, but it has helped.
Yeah.
So going back to the book, sin creates relational debt. When wrong, you may feel owed an apology and try to punish or repay the harm done to what you did. So, from that, at least speaking from my experience, when there was something that you have done that I felt was wrong or wrongdoing toward me, there had been times where maybe I wanted to pay you back or get you back 10 times worse or whatever. And that stage has been out of my life for a while now. I've come to terms with forgiving and actually forgiving. I don't know if you can speak towards that. I mean, have you ever felt that way? If I'd done you wrong, you felt like you wanted to get me back? Honestly,
I can't say that I have. I mean, maybe my getting you back is not talking to you or trying to make you like me, like I'm all happy and go lucky and bubbly. Like back in the day, I don't do this now, but before this, but I remember just like when we'd fight or you did something and to get you back, my way with getting you back is being happy, like not showing you that you're the way you acted toward me doesn't bother me, almost like I didn't care. Mm-hmm. But deep down I cared, but I didn't want you to see that I cared because I felt like if I showed you I cared, it wouldn't change nothing. So I kind of like, I don't want him to see me hurt. I don't want him to see me. I'm going to show him that I'm good with whatever.
Right.
And deep down I want to probably choke you half the time.
Seems like a majority of the time.
Yeah, majority of the time I wanted to choke you. Just kidding. No, I mean, honestly, I can't say that it didn't bother me on the stuff that, that's how I would get you back, though. I would make you see me as happy and not bothered by what you did because it's just easier for me, I guess.
Maybe.
Keep me from being down and whatever.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? What were you going to say? Nope, you already done hesitate. What were you going to say? Say it.
Nothing.
Say it.
Anywho. Yeah.
See, now I'm curious what were you going to say. So my OCD is kicking in.
I done forgot. That bird flew.
It's probably going to be mean, y'all.
No.
Did you say bird flu?
That bird flew away. That idea.
I thought you said it's bird flu.
No. So yeah, I mean, this whole journey of marriage and maybe reevaluating the way we look at things, the way we process things now, it's
different.
It was definitely different. And it's, in my opinion, beneficial. It's helped us.
Yeah.
For quite a few, since we got in to re-engage, it's helped us quite a few months. I don't remember exactly when we started. It might have been January or March of this year. I think it was March. Anyways, it's been very helpful. Like I said, eye-opening, and just the way that we handle things now. It's a lot different. Having a workbook or a study guide, and then the presence of God first. We look at things differently, and maybe how God would look at things or handle situations.
We fight respectfully.
I would agree.
a lot more respectfully. And, you know, it's not good to fight anyway, but nobody's perfect. We're going to
It's going to happen.
you know, ups and downs
Right.
and stuff come in our path that we just got to handle, but we got to handle it with, well, care and be mindful of who it's really affecting and
Mm-hmm.
choose kind words instead of
Hurtful.
weapons that are
Yeah.
hurtful words, you know?
I agree.
I remember we would do this, we would go to this and they would always ask us, okay, we do a prayer
Mhm.
request or whatever. And I always said, well, just remember, this book is not a weapon. Like, you can't hold this against your spouse. What they are writing
Right.
in this book for their answers or their responses, like, you can't use as a weapon.
Well, it could be very personal things that they're writing
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Like, I'm not
we
going
did
to
that.
throw everything in your face, what you wrote down,
Right.
and vice versa. I don't expect you better not
Right.
throw anything I wrote down in my face.
Well, and that's one thing about going through this. We can't. We're writing down emotions and feelings. Maybe at the time that we were dealing with something,
Mhm.
it's very personal. So yeah, like you said, you don't want to use that as ammunition against your spouse because we're opening up. You're getting to know your spouse even more on a personal level than what you might thought you knew. You know, you and I mean, we're going through our answers and we're like, wow, I didn't know that, or
Mhm.
you didn't know this, and you know, yeah. So you're right. You don't want to use this as ammunition because one, it's not healthy,
Yeah.
and two, you are
Holding
taking
it over your spouse's
well,
head.
you're taking away from that trust. You know, so yeah, that's a good word right there.
So I wanted to read The Truth About Marriage versus a Lie. So, and this is all from this book. Told y'all we were going to go over this book, you guys. So the lie that's in here says, if my spouse never acknowledges his or her sin, I can't forgive the offense. So that goes back to me saying, like, Christ forgave us. Well, speak for myself. He forgave me for my sin. This is how I took it. Seeing that, I was like, okay, he forgave me for all my sins. You forgave me for my sins. Why can't I pay it forward pretty much the same way? So that's a lie. But the truth is, forgiveness is an act of the will between you and God alone. It does not depend upon your spouse's willingness or ability to turn from sin. Forgiving your spouse doesn't mean that he or she is no longer on the hook for sin or that your relationship is restored. Forgiveness is transferring your demands for justice to God for him to execute justice in his time and way. When you trust God is to avenge a wrong against you, it frees you from the power of that sin to see your spouse through God's eyes rather than through the fog of sin, and to respond to your spouse out of God's love rather than out of pain and resentment. So that's another thing that, like, if you don't forgive you say you forgive your spouse, but you really don't, it does lead to resentment and bitterness, and that's when everything starts to, like, pretty much go downhill. You lose interest in them, or you never believe what they have to say or anything they say. That's when it comes, what do they call it? Helicopter, what the kids call helicopter parents, where they're like hovering their kids.
I'm not sure.
This guy.
Anyway. I'm older. I don't know.
No, this is my teenager, that's what she says. Hovering parent. Yes. Hovering. That's when you become a hovering spouse. If you say you forgive your spouse, but you really don't forgive them, you're holding that over their head. You're assuming they're doing this, and that. When you don't have access to them, when you don't have access to, like, where they are, who they're with, who they're talking to, that's when you become that hovering spouse.
Maybe. Yeah.
And that's never good in a relationship, only because it makes your spouse feel like, dang, like,
can't trust me.
They don't trust me. Right. Like, what are you doing in that? What am I doing here? Like, why am I even here? You don't trust me to go to the bathroom. You don't trust me to go to the store to go put gas, nothing. Like, you don't trust who I'm talking to, It's like, it's never good. And then once your kids see that, you guys, they kind of like, okay, they pick up the vibe that is going on in your household. So you don't want your kids to come home and, like I said earlier, like, the resentment, it happens like you could be on that side of the room and I'm going to be on this side of the room. And then the kids come in, they're like, well, where's Dad? Oh, I don't know. He's over there, you know. That's when they're like, okay, something's wrong.
Right.
And then they kind of get in that mood, like sad, like, well, why are y'all not talking? And you don't want your kids to ever see that. So when you forgive your spouse, you can't say you forgive them just to forgive them. You got to forgive them, leave it alone, give it to God. Because once you say you forgive them, like you have to mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't just say it to say it. Forgive them, give it to God because it's not ours to carry no more. Right. It's not our responsibility to judge you for it no more. Well, we shouldn't be judging anyway, but it's something you just got to let go and let God.
So I can attest to that. Going back to when I told you there have been situations where I forgave you. Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned, if you're not truly forgiving, you're going to think about it. It's going to play over and over in your head. It's going to make you assume things, you know, and that was me. Mm-hmm. I told you, hey, I forgive you. Let's move on. But in the back of my mind, I truly didn't forgive you. So now I'm at work or wherever and I'm not with you. Now my mind's playing, what is she really doing?
Yeah.
You know, is she doing this? Is she doing that? Is she talking to this person? Whatever. So yeah, the feelings are still there because I never
cheated on you.
Huh?
I said I'd cheat on you. I'm just saying.
Where did that even come from?
Because you're like, is she talking to this person or that person?
Well, no,
I was like,
I'm just giving you examples. Wow.
Proceed.
On the next episode. No, but I mean, my experience, mm-hmm. I didn't truly forgive situations, we'll say. And going down the road, because I didn't forgive you, it would come up. So I was still living in the past, you know, and now when I say I forgive you, I forgive you and I leave it in the past. Mm-hmm. I don't bring it up. And if I do bring it up, it's not so much for ammunition. It's more of a, hey, we did this in the past. Let's learn from that. A learning experience. Mm-hmm. So not so much ammunition. I'm not trying to drag the fight on even more or the argument, but I tend to learn from my mistakes, and I don't live in the past, but I will think about it. That way I don't do it again.
Well, it's like I said before, like if you keep bringing up the past, excuse me, I feel like I'm about to burp. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Hey, I'm just saying. If you keep living in the past, it's like, where are you going? You keep like, and I used to tell you that. I would tell you that all the time. Like, bro, get over it. It's in the past. Let it go. I remember telling you these things, and I remember it caused a lot of arguing. Like, I'm not letting nothing go. Like, I remember.
I never said that.
You're such a liar. Don't lie. No, but I always say that, like, you can't live in the past, because if you want to move forward with your spouse and better your future, better your marriage, better your family, like, you can't keep taking that step back. Right. Because then you're not going nowhere. I
mean, that's true. You're not gonna be able to move forward. Mm-mm. And that was me. I wasn't able to move forward. But I'm at a point in my life where maybe it's because I've gotten older.
You are pretty old.
Not as old as you. But
it's okay.
But yeah, it's allowed me to move on and not hold that resentment, not hold on to things that have bothered me, mm-hmm. and it's been very good.
Yeah,
healthy in my mind, I guess you could say.
It's a big mind.
You know what? This is not a comedy show. Okay.
Sorry, you like leave the door wide open for me sometimes, and I just had to.
You see what I got to put up with?
You're welcome.
Hurtful.
You're so welcome.
You and the girls always talking about my head. And it's not that big. It's average. Dang. Anyways.
You know, so he doesn't live in the past, but he loves to plan for the future, and that drives me insane. Like, he plans for the worst case scenario in case this happened, in case that. And that's fine. That's him. I mean, I can't change him, but God, come on. So tell this man.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been working on. And it is still hard because I like to kind of be ready, I guess you could say. I don't want to be caught off guard. And that's one thing I'm trying to deal with. I don't know what's going to happen. Only God does. And that is the hardest thing for me to comprehend.
I know.
You know, and it is crazy. Something I'm trying to work on. You know, this life is out of my hands. There's not a whole lot I can do to prevent things from happening to me, my family, you know.
Somehow you and I work because I am not that way at all.
You're a free spirit.
I'm just kind of like, hey, whatever happens, happens. We can't stop it.
You could walk in the middle of the street without looking left or right and be okay with it. Me, I've got to look left, right, left again, look right down, one more time. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to get hit.
No, I would look, see if there was a car coming.
I've actually seen you not look before.
Because I could see out of my, what are they called?
No, probably because I walked ahead of you. If anybody's going to get hit, it's going to be me.
No, I do. I'm cautious sometimes. But I really do live day by day. Whatever happens, happens. And sometimes I know that would drive him crazy back in the day.
No, it does.
He was just like,
it still does.
This woman.
But, so, yeah. You've always heard people say, I can't think of it. Opposites attract. You're my yin, I'm your yang. You know, I mean, it works. It works. I gotta look after you more so than you look after me, but it makes it interesting. I will say that. Getting back to the subject.
How it works. We work great together. I have to say, we really do.
I would agree.
Because when we're in public, I'm like, I got my guard right there. It's my guard dog.
Getting back to forgiveness, please. So, forgiveness matters to God.
Yes.
Forgiveness is both frightening and freeing. It is frightening because you can no longer use that sin against you to protect yourself from future injury. Justify your actions, stay distant in the relationship, or exercise power over your spouse. So, going back to forgiveness is both frightening and freeing. When I spoke to the pastor, I was scared. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm telling a man that I just kind of briefly know. I mean, we don't hang out. You know, it's a man that I respect. I see him in the church. I don't want to call him a stranger, but I'm telling everything to
your secret, the darkest,
dark secrets. Mm-hmm. You know, and it was scary. I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want him to look at me differently. But at the same time, it was freeing. I was able to get everything off my chest and let him know what I was dealing with. And then that's what led to me expressing everything to you. And that as well was frightening, but also freeing as well. You know?
You know, another thing I think people can try when they're confessing to their spouse, if they're not comfortable with talking to somebody else, but they want to confess to their spouse, I think another way they could possibly do it, so kind of like prepare your spouse, like, hey, we need to have a serious talk, and what I'm about to tell you, you may not agree with, you may not like, but it's something I have to get off my chest. Like, So kind of prepare your spouse, like, right. Be prepared. What I'm about to tell you, don't get mad. I mean, it's going to cause you pain. Right. It's going to make you think different of me. But I think if you can prepare your spouse before you confess, then they'll be like, okay. So, and I mean, in their mind, I'm sure if you would have did that, I'm like, I can't say that. I know I would have been like, okay, what are you going to tell me? But I mean, it kind of like catches them off guard. Like they know what you're about to say is going to be something joyful and happy and exciting. It's going to be something that's serious and something that your spouse wants to talk to you about, but don't want to be judged about it.
Right.
I mean, even if you have to try that. That may help. If you want to confess to your spouse, if you're not comfortable with speaking to somebody other than your spouse, try it that way. See how that works. I mean, if it doesn't work that way, I mean, y'all need counseling, do counseling.
Yeah, I mean, no,
it's never going to be, everybody's different. Right. Everybody takes stuff different. It just depends on I guess, the situation, the confession.
Right. No, that's good.
But that's just, I don't know. It's kind of catchy sometimes. That's, I guess, how you take it. So you can't, regardless of what your spouse confess, it's going to hurt you. But you can't, like you said earlier, pay them back with the same or even worse. You know, it's not healthy for your marriage, in my eyes.
I agree. What else you got?
So this thing, it says, if you don't know how to forgive, face the truth of the sins against you and grieve the hurt. Release your wounds to God and ask for healing. Entrust your claims for justice to God. Exalt God for offering peace through Christ to all. God can free you from the burden of sins against you, like he freed you from the burden of your own sins. That's exactly what I said. Like, it's how you think. Like I said earlier, put yourself in your spouse's shoes. How would they react? How did God react? Mm-hmm. And like, I know I always do this to the kids when they're like, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I'm like, was God tired?
Right.
Was God tired when he forgave you for your sin? Was God tired when he got crucified? I'm sure he was, but did he stop? Nope.
I heard you tell the oldest the other day. Caught her off guard.
She was just like, Mom.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, you just gotta, put yourself in your spouse's shoes. Whoever's confessing, put yourself in their shoes. And how would you want your spouse to react? How would God react? That's when you always gotta go back. Like, where is God in this this conversation? Yeah. Like I said, probably a week or two ago, always make sure there's grace in that conversation, not your pride. But
and that's hard to do, especially for me. Pride.
Love you.
You have to do all that.
Love you. Mean it.
It's that Heart Through Humility comedy show.
Yes, it is.
Anyways. So, yeah. Going back to forgiveness. It has been a process. Much needed process. You and I both dealt with forgiving each other, forgiving things that had either things that you've done that had bothered me or vice versa, and it's put us in a really good spot. It's been very healthy for us. Mm-hmm. Like you had mentioned, we're living in a different way now, and it's very good. You and I notice, the girls notice it. They see that we're more happy. I feel. Mm-hmm. It's a journey. It's every day we're learning something new.
Are you really happy? We're on camera.
No.
No, you're not. I'm not. Oh, wow. This is new news to me.
You asked if it was just on camera.
Ow. He kicked me.
Will you behave? Goodness gracious.
Hey, I love you.
We should have stayed with the first take.
No, because I was just as bad at the first one as I am now.
Wow.
Look, guys, I'm going to show y'all something. So when we first got this Reengage book, I put our picture in there because I wanted to make this book ours. Did you see this?
No.
I wanted to make it ours. By that, I mean, like, I don't know. I have this thing, like, I feel if I put our picture in there and I pray, I actually would pray over this book, like, Lord, please let this be perfect. Let it help us. I kind of, putting our picture in there, kind of like, in my mind, like, oh, this is going to be great for us. Mm-hmm. It's like a wish.
Praying over it.
Yeah. It's like a wish for me.
Yeah, I do the same with my Bible. I got the picture of you and the girls in there.
You gotta up me. Huh? You don't have to up me.
I'm not trying to up you.
Mine's not in the Bible, but it's in this. You have to up me.
Oh my goodness. Anyways.
Oh goodness. I forgive you.
Well, I forgive you too for being a jerk.
No, No, but seriously, guys, I know we joke around, but
It's real.
that's just us.
Yeah, that is. Truly, that's us.
Like, honestly, like I said earlier, if y'all are not comfortable with speaking to, your pastor at your church or just a close friend, of how you can go about confessing your secrets or stuff that's been getting in between your marriage to your spouse, if it's better just to talk to your spouse, make sure you do it when it's just your spouse. Give your spouse more than 5 minutes, please, is all I ask.
From experience.
From experience, yes. But sit your spouse down, like, hey, we need to have a serious talk, and like try it that way. Maybe that'll help. Maybe to kind of prepare your spouse what you're about to say. I'm not saying it's gonna help. I'm not saying, but just try it.
Well, I mean, if there is something that you're holding on to, and like my case, living in the dark, eventually it's gonna come out. Eventually, your spouse will find out. And I think you would rather tell your spouse, as hard as it may be, than them finding out a different way.
Yeah.
Let it come from your mouth than the world or hearsay.
Because it's only going to change. It ain't going to be the actual truth because people add on their
Possibly.
own.
Right. So, yeah, at least think about that. And, like I said, it was scary, but very freeing as well. It's put us in a different place, a healthier place. So at least think about that. And again, if you consider some type of counseling, marriage counseling, or even a therapist, think about that route. It's got to be, if you're willing to fight for your marriage, husband or wife, I think it could work for you guys.
Oh yeah.
It can't just be one person. That's.
Oh no, you gotta both. I mean,
right.
If you're both willing to, hey, like, we took those vows. Those vows meant something. We took them before God. Like, that's something you take to heart. And we wrote our vows.
Yeah.
So you gotta
1993.
This man. I was still in school in 1993.
I know.
A weirdo.
I meant 2000. Whatever.
What year did we get married?
What year?
Yeah.
2014.
Oh, you're lucky.
Brownie points. Brownies for my brownie.
Is it because I'm brown?
Wow.
Is it because I'm Mexican? You just call me a brownie. No, but seriously,
you
guys.
You are doing too much.
Seriously.
Is a light getting to you?
Yes. All these lights. They're everywhere. No, but guys, seriously, be mindful and consider your spouse, if they confess stuff. I'm not saying forgive them every time, I'm not going to forgive him. He's on his phone right now.
To what?
He didn't even catch me, so I'm not going to repeat it. But anyway, you'll see when you edit.
It was the first day of school. I'm making sure our kids aren't calling us. Okay.
Anywho, make sure you talk to God about it. Pray about it. Y'all can even pray together over if your spouse confesses to you. Pray together.
Mm-hmm.
Seek help. There's help out there. You just gotta be willing to look for it. You both gotta be willing to fight for your marriage if it's something you want. Him and I, we've been together since high school, so he's all I've known. So, I mean, I'm not gonna give him up easy.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm willing to fight for my marriage. He is the same.
We've got too many years together. There's no reason for us to throw them away. And I've told you in the past, I don't want to start over. I'm happy where I'm at, and
as he's blinking.
No, it's serious. Yeah, like you said, we've been together since high school. That was 2005. Mm-hmm. Going on 22 years, over 22 years. And why would you throw that away? Why would you want to start over with somebody new? That is my opinion. I know people do it. That's between you you and your spouse or you and God, but we got too much time invested. I don't want to let it go for no
I'm going to
reason.
say something.
What is it? You need to check with me first.
No. Hey, this is open conversation, so this is what I'm doing.
To an extent.
No, there ain't no extent, nothing. Anyway, so before we split, like in my mind, and we were in not a bad place, but we just were not seeing eye to eye. We were using our kids as like against each other. But I remember like, oh man, as soon as my youngest turns 18, he's probably going to leave me. And that's how my mind thought. Like, I'm remembering.
You said before we split?
Yeah, before we split. Like, we were not seeing eye to eye. We always were fighting over everything. We never, like, we were using our past against each other. We were throwing it in each other's face. We said we forgave, but we never forgive.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, that's how my mind was when we would find, like, oh, he's probably just waiting, like, till my kids turn 18 so he don't have to pay child support. Like, that's literally how I was thinking. But now it's like, it is different. We argue respectfully. Our kids have nothing to do with us. Like, we have our focus right. Our mind is right. Our heart is right. My heart is right. I can't speak for you, but my heart is right.
It's right.
I know, but I mean, you've got to chime in here too. But like, that's how it was back then. And once you let God into your marriage and it's something you like, put that heel down, like, this is my life I want. This is what I want out of my marriage. This is what I want out of my spouse. Now, I can't fix him. I can't change him. I have no control over what he does, what he says, or anything. Vice versa. You see, he tries to stop me half the time, but it never works. That's God's work. So, I mean, you just gotta put God in the middle of your marriage, and he will continuously fight for you guys. And you just both have to be willing to fight, not each other, but any issues that come between you guys. Like, y'all have to both want that fight, want that marriage, want that relationship. And no, we're not perfect, never going to be perfect. But as long as we have that same mindset, have God right there with us, I mean, that's 100 right there.
That's well said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're a team at the end of the day. We're not fighting each other. We're fighting with each other. Fighting the world.
Yeah.
Fighting the temptations and all the negativity in the world. So, very, very good. Yeah. So next week, it was, are we raising adults or kids? That'd probably be more of electronics and kids, social media and kids. Are you a best friend before a parent? It's something I see a lot of, and it's something I take personal. I'm a parent before I am a friend, so different views on that when it comes to other families, but it's something I'm willing to talk about.
Yeah.
Should be good.
Oh yeah, it'll be good. But I'm going to leave y'all with this, you guys. Guard your heart, guard your marriage. Remember, keep God at the center. Forgive your spouse, depending on the situation. Mm-hmm. But remember that once you forgive, you can't bring it up. You can't use it as a weapon. You can't use it as ammo for the next argument or anything. You can't hold it over your spouse's head. Once you forgive, you give it to God and you let it go. God's the justifier now. It's in his hands. But thanks again for joining us on A Heart Through Humility. We'll see you next week. Bye.
See ya.